everyone, this is Fantasy-esque, and welcome back to ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we were trying to piece together the death of Armandfur, our first criminal cat in Luminous clan. He was sent out on patrol by himself and ended up dying at the hands of a badger. The paws of a badger? Wait, no, the jaws of a badger. And then we kind of started figuring out that his death might have been planned by the deputy and the medicine cat. So there was that. And then we kind of dealt with the aftermath of our grieving cats. And one of our kittens, unfortunately, has kitten cough, which you guys have let me know is actually very, very dangerous. And across many of the clans that you've played, only 2 kittens have ever survived. And this is my first time coming across kitten cough. So I don't know how well this is going to go. I really hope Bright Kit survives, especially because in this episode, the kittens are about to be apprentices, so I'm very excited to see how that's going to go. And I would hate to see one of their lives cut short so early on. So, you know, let's hope that the amount of medicine we have in the medicine cat den is going to help her along. But okay guys, we are diving into events and we are going to get going because I want to see hopefully the kitten with kitten cough Bright Kit improve, and also I want to see who the apprentices get assigned to, and also I want to see what they look like as apprentices. So let's not waste any time and skip a moon. So we have, we're at Moon 31, right? And let's go ahead and have a look, guys. Luminous clan does not have enough healthy medicine cats. Cats will be sick / hurt for longer. Oh no, and have a higher chance of dying. Okay, so yeah, our medicine cat has a sprain right now, and one of the kittens is sick with already a dangerous sickness. So, her chances don't look too great, guys. Okay, given Shade Clan's reputation of warm-hearted sociability, Mistar decides to praise the wisdom and rationality of Shade Clan's mediators at the gathering. The appreciative gleam in Shade Clan's leader's eye suggests this was the right course of action. So relations have improved, and I want to quickly go ahead and actually make it so that we are trying to befriend Lynx Clan. Okay. The dog pounce gazes up into Silverpelt and finds that finally the grief has begun to lessen. Okay, Dog Pounce had, I think, 1 moon of, grieving for Armandfur, but she has finally come to terms with it, and the grief has begun to lessen and will no longer be hindering her from participating in clan activities. Okay, guys, time for our apprentices. Okay, Poppy Kit loudly complains as Cloudy Snarl pulls her over to quickly groom her pelt. She manages to wriggle away and scurry off to the front of the crowd for her ceremony, where she is renamed to Poppy Paw and apprenticed to Liar Buzz. Okay, this does make sense to me that Poppy Kit would be sent. I actually thought Poppy Kit would be with one of her parents. But since Mistar has been spending a lot of time with his mate Cloudy Snarl, and Cloudy Snarl was in cahoots with Lyrebuzz recently, they would have good camaraderie, and I could kind of see Cloudy Snarl actually, approving of Lyrebuzz mentoring her favorite child. And so I can see Cloudy Snarl maybe putting a few words in Mistar's ear about this. And this is kind of cool. Poppy Kit is apprenticed to the deputy. So that's going to be an exciting combination because Lyrebuzz is a very confident cat. And Poppy Kit, she is an attention seeker, but she gets very attached to the people closest to her. So who knows, maybe Lyrebuzz is going to show her how to become more confident in herself and not seek validation from others, which I feel like is kind of what Poppy Kit does. She's always looking for reassurance and validation from, outside. Okay, and then oh my goodness. Guys, Bright Kit died of kitten cough. I didn't know things happened that quickly. I thought we would have like a few moons at least. Oh, and I think the fact that a medicine cat was down as well. The fact that Cloudy Snarl had a sprain And we didn't have an active medicine cat? Oh my goodness. I wonder if Cloudy Snarl would feel guilty that she couldn't be there for her daughter. And that she couldn't do anything. She was down, she had a sprain, she was not working at the time. Oh no. Oh, that's so terrible. And on the day when the other kittens become apprentices too. Oh, Bright Kit, she was the most, like, enthusiastic out of the 3 kittens. And the most proactive. I feel like she would have been the most excited about this. And she died. As Plumepaw touches noses with Grey Swipe, he hopes that she'll be a cool mentor that won't assign boring tasks, anything but gathering moss or tick duty. Okay, so it looks like Plumepaw has actually been paired up with Grey Swipe. And Grey Swipe is like more of a righteous sort of cat. So these two might make a good team with each other because Plumepaw, or I don't know. But you know what? Even if Grey Swipe has a certain way of doing things and a certain worldview, this might be a good combination for Plumepaw, who's always questioning, the way others are and the way others think and the way the world works. And so it might be, like, they might get into some really good discussions in his journey to figure himself out. I am so sad, though, that he couldn't, I'm so sad that Bright Kid couldn't participate in this. I was not expecting it to take her so quickly. Darn. Wow, okay. I'm surprised, though, that Grey Swipe was chosen for Plumepaw, because I think for Plumepaw, I thought either Bubbling Gale or Lyrebuzz would have been picked for him. But I guess not. Okay. The past moon, Bright Kid has taken their place in Star Clan. Luminous Clan mourns their loss, and the clanmates will miss the spot they took up in their lives. Moments of their life are shared in stories around the circle of mourners as those that were closest to them take them to their final resting place. We have had 2 back-to-back deaths, essentially. 2 back-to-back deaths, like so close to one another. Oh, that's just terrible. That is just terrible. I don't know how the other cats are going to cope with this, and I don't know who's mourning. But okay, let us dive into relationships and see what's going on here. We might also get a timeline. This is so sad. But we might get a timeline for what happened before Bright Kid died. Okay, Bubbling Gale thinks that Slope Flex smells nice today. Okay, these two are being nice to each other. Oh no, the clan is very uncomfortable whenever Bubbling Gale talks about Bright Kid. You know what I think it is? At this point, obviously, Bright Kid was already quite sick with kitten cough. And I think Bubbling Gale, normally he's very kind. Actually, even, Bubbling Gale being compassionate and kind, I can see Bubbling Gale maybe telling everyone to be kinder to Bright Kid in the time she has left. Maybe because he was starting to notice that she wasn't going to make it, but obviously the rest of the clan are unwilling to accept that one of their kittens is going to die, so they probably didn't like Bubbling Gale saying things like that, because it felt almost final, like there was nothing they could do. Yay. Okay, Dog Pounds compliments Slumber Roach on his bravery today. And then Dog Pounds watches Bright Kid wind up for a sneeze, but it never happens. So yeah, the different cats, they're spending a little bit more time with Bright Kid in the medicine cat den, I can imagine. Oh my goodness. Okay, Lyrebuzz feels extremely unsettled when Bubbling Gale looks at him. Okay, and Lyrebuzz, being the deputy, and previously having been a medicine cat, I think Bubbling Gale probably felt as though if anyone, like Cloudy Snarl, probably would be unwilling to acknowledge that Bright Kid, there's no hope left for her and she's about to die. But I think Bubbling Gale would look to Lyrebuzz as someone who has been a medicine cat and can see the symptoms, and he's probably thinking, Bubbling Gale is probably thinking that Lyrebuzz knows. Lyrebuzz isn't saying it, but having been a medicine cat beforehand, he knows that the kitten isn't going to make it. But I don't think Lyrebuzz liked that. He probably didn't like Bubbling Gale looking at him as though he understood, because it meant that he would have to face the fact that the kitten was going to die. Ah, that's terrible. Okay, Laribus threatens to give Plumekit a terrible name. What? A terrible name? For what? For what? Like, in what sense? As in, like, a reputation? A nickname? What are you doing, Laribus? Okay, Nectarrock's advice is more helpful than Slumberroach expected. And you know what, guys? I think maybe Plumekit was getting very nervous about his sister, and since their mother couldn't do anything, like wasn't working yet, but Laribus was okay, he probably went to Laribus to ask, like, you know, is there a way you can help? Is there something that you can do? And Laribus was probably getting a little bit irritated because, I mean, a part of him probably felt guilty that there was nothing that could be done, but he can't exactly tell Plumekit to his face that your sister's going to die, so he kind of just threatened Plumekit to stop irritating him, otherwise he would get a terrible name. Okay. Brightkit lets Slumberroach know that a clanmate was talking badly about him. Who was talking badly about you? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Who does Slumberroach have the least relationship with? He has the least relationship with Poppypaw. With Poppypaw. Okay. But Brightkit, I mean, he's always at odds with his sister, I feel. Who does Brightkit have the least relationship with? Oh wait, Brightkit! Sorry, Brightkit. I don't know why I thought this was Plumekit. No, Brightkit. Brightkit. She's not this. I thought this was. Sorry, I thought Brightkit was Plumekit over here, but no, Brightkit. Apparently didn't get along too well with his sister. I mean, they hardly spend any time together. All three of them, I feel like, were separately doing their own things all the time. But okay. Okay, so she probably heard some, you know, she had some gossip. Who does Brightkit not get along with, though? Oh, we can't see her relationships, darn it. Yeah, so, okay, something about Poppykit. Interesting. I think it was probably just gossip. You know, her siblings, her family visiting her and sitting around her chatting, and Poppykit maybe complaining about Slumberroach or something, and then Slumberroach visiting later and Brightkit sharing stories with him too. Okay, when discussing the future, Mistar and Plumekit discuss the policies they'd implement in a clan of their own. Okay. That's kind of adorable that father and son here are talking about, you know, being clan leaders. I think that's interesting. You know what? I feel like Mistar kind of recognizes that out of all his kids, Plumekit probably thinks the deepest and the most. So, this is intriguing. Okay, Mistar hears Cloudy Snarl laugh at a clanmate's joke, even though it was lame. Cloudy Snarl, who are you close to aside from Mistar? Grey Swipe. Okay, so she's laughing at a joke that Grey Swipe's making. Okay. Cloudy Snarl stumbles upon Laribus looking at the stars with wonder in his eyes, and these two have become really good friends lately ever since Armenfoe was killed. So, what a thing to bond over, but yes, they have bonded over that, I feel. Okay, Cloudy Snarl gets a little injured and Plumekit is the first to help. You know what kind of breaks my heart a little bit? That beforehand, Plumekit was the shy one who would freak out if something happened, and Poppykit would stick with her parents and kind of let something happen to her with her parents. Like, she'd be stuck with them, you know? But Brightkit was the proactive one with solutions, right? The one who called for help and actually came up with solutions. And this little interaction here, where Cloudy Snarl is injured and Plumekit is helping, I feel like because Brightkit has been so sick and getting so sick, Plumekit started, like, filling in that role she had of trying to be more solution-oriented and actually, like, help and do things, because the sister that normally did this in their little trio can't do it anymore, so he's kind of started stepping in here. Oh, that's so sad. Grey Swipe is hurt by one of Cloudy Snarl's pranks, but Cloudy Snarl doesn't seem to believe her. Okay. Bright Kit draws a pretty symbol in the sand that Grey Swipe makes sure not to mess up. Oh my goodness. This is so sad because when I'm reading all of this, I'm reading from the perspective that Bright Kit has been sick for a while. Like this whole moon, you know, she's been sick from the last moon and she's been deteriorating. That's kind of my mindset going through this, is that her sickness has been deteriorating, and the different cats are trying to spend as much time with her as possible and letting her do all these things. And I don't think anyone's had a negative interaction with Bright Kit so far because of that. So, the fact that, you know, she's slowing down, she's not as loud or as excitable is how I'm kind of seeing all of this. And she's, you know, being able to move a little bit, talk a little bit, and she's doing little things, probably in the medicine cat den, you know, drawing symbols in the sand and all of that. Bright Kit. Okay, Nectarrock helps Slumberroach figure out how to word something. Bright Kit gets a bug off of Nectarrock's pelt and takes it out of camp. Okay, when she gets a little bit of energy to do something, she's being really nice to the other cats. I wonder if Bright Kit, guys, knew that she was kind of going to leave as well. I wonder if she knew that she wasn't going to get better. Maybe she felt it. Okay, whenever Slumberroach's name is mentioned, Slopefleck relaxes. Poppy Paw feels a little safer when Bright Kit joins her in the clearing. Oh my goodness. Okay, so at this point, it seems as though the two siblings, Poppy Paw and Plume Paw, have had their apprentice ceremonies, but because Bright Kit has been so sick, she hasn't been able to have her ceremony yet. But Poppy Paw is really happy that her sister somehow manages to come to the clearing to attend the apprentice ceremony. Oh. Okay, Slowflake makes a crude remark about the clan to Plume Paw, who is probably not happy. You know what? I think Slowflake maybe made a comment about how Bright Kit, like, she came out into the clearing during the apprentice ceremony, and I'm assuming this is when, like, these two interactions happen. And Slopefleck probably saw Bright Kit struggling and kind of said that it's obvious she isn't going to make it, but the clan just isn't willing to accept that or acknowledge that. And I think Plume Paw got upset by that. He didn't like the remark that Slopefleck made about his sister not being able to make it. Plume Paw, Cloudy Snarl, and Dark Pounce took a sunbath and had a little small talk. And then, obviously, Bright Kit died. Oh goodness, guys. That is so sad. That means that the last thing that Bright Kit did was attend the apprentice ceremony and join her sister Poppy Paw in the clearing. Ah, my heart. My heart. That is so terrible. That is so terrible. Okay, guys. Let's quickly check up on the medicine cat den to see what's been going on over here. Okay, Dark Pounce, this might give us more of a hint as well. Dark Pounce was given Poppy treatment, Poppy as treatment for grief. Dark Pounce gazes up into Silverpelt and finds that the grief has lessened. Cloudy Snarl was given Poppy as treatment for sprain. Bright Kit was given Tansy as treatment for kitten cough. They will heal sooner. And then she died. She was given some treatment, guys, but it wasn't enough. She died. Oh my goodness. And look at how much we have. We have so many things. So many resources, but that just wasn't enough. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. That is just terrible. But okay, guys, let me cut the recording here and we'll come back and go through the cat list. Okay, it is time for us to check up on the cat list. Nothing has changed in terms of loyalties. Dark Pounce is still the only anti-loyalist. Let's quickly take a look at Bright Kit. Now guys, this is a unique situation here because Bright Kit obviously was unable to have her apprentice ceremony because she was too sick for it. However, she did make it to 6 moons in life and she was an adolescent. So I feel as though the clan would still try and give her her apprentice name. like posthumously after she died, but I think she deserves to be known as Bright Paw because she did make it into adolescence and she did witness her siblings' ceremonies. So I think, can I change? Hold on, I'm gonna change her name to, wait, no, not this. I want it to be a Paw. Come on, can I change it to Paw? Can I actually? I don't know if I can change it. I don't know if I can change it. Hold on. Okay. Is that Bright Paw's name? Okay, I can. Thank goodness. I can change it. But I feel like Bright Paw deserves to be known as Bright Paw because she did make it into adolescence. Even if she never got a mentor and she was too sick to go through the ceremony when she was alive, I think after she passed on during her vigil, the clan would have given her the name of Bright Paw so that, she could still be remembered as a cat who maybe in spirit managed to do the ceremony with her two siblings. Oh, Bright Paw. And look at her, she's watching her own vigil. I wonder how the cats are reacting. I really wonder. So why don't we go ahead before we look at Poppy Paw and Plume Paw, who are so cool. Like their black and white coat they have, it looks so good on them. But let's go through the different cats, see who's mourning, see what's going on with them, and how they're reacting to the death of Bright Paw. Mr. prays that Bright Paw is safe in Star Clan. I mean, at the time here, it says Bright Kit, or was known Bright Kit, but, known as Bright Kit, but I think posthumously, after the vigil, the clan would have gone ahead and named her as Bright Paw, so that she could be remembered as someone who did make it into adolescence. So, okay, praise that Bright Paw is safe in Star Clan. Oh, Mister. I mean, he is a leader, so it does make sense that he has a bit more control over his emotions. And this was the daughter he had... You know what's wild? This was the daughter that he had a lot of arguments with over who was going to be her mentor. Bright Kid was actually determined for Slumber Roach to be her mentor when she was young. But Mister did not like that, was not happy with that at all. And they kind of had a agree to disagree sort of dynamic going on. And Bright Kid, she was the one who helped Mister out of being stuck in brambles twice, literally before the argument and then after the argument. So it's kind of wild that the only kind of major fight or disagreement in their relationship came from who was going to be Bright Kid's mentor. And then the way it turned out, she wouldn't ever have any mentor. Oh, that's so sad. That is so sad. I wonder if some part of Mister, I mean, obviously he's trying to keep it together. Like I said, he's a leader. But I also wonder if some part of Mister, since he's a prophet, feels a little bit guilty and bad. And maybe, as a father, is wondering if I had said yes, if I had, let Slumber Roach be her mentor, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Maybe she wouldn't have gotten kitten cough and gotten sick. Oh my goodness. Okay. Lyrebuzz is crushing leaves under his paws. I can imagine Lyrebuzz, trying to... He's not the medicine cat, but I could see him trying to help out at the medicine cat den with Cloudy Snarl and her injury because, I don't know, maybe... I mean, he knows there was nothing he could have done. He did all he could. And since she was getting, I think, some tansy before she died, I imagine Lyrebuzz was probably, jumping in there and helping Cloudy Snarl as much as he could between his own duties. But, oh Lyrebuzz. I feel like he's in the medicine cat again, crushing some leaves. Kind of idly, doing things and thinking about what more could he have done. But being an experienced medicine cat, I feel like Lyrebuzz would know there was nothing he could have done, any more than what he already did. Oh, Cloudy Snarl will never forget Bright Kit. Of course she won't. She gave birth to Bright Kit. And I mean, it's Bright Paw. It's Bright Paw. She'll never forget Bright Paw. Oh my goodness. I think Bright Paw was not the daughter she was closest to, but definitely the daughter that she admired the most. The boldest of her children. Dark Pounce leaps into a pile of fallen leaves. Okay, she's keeping her spirits up, obviously, because we already have a lot of cats that have been quite down from grief lately. Slopefleck is enjoying the sounds of nature. I think Slopefleck is doing his own bit of, quiet remembrance of Bright Paw. And probably having just like some alone time to himself. Slumberroach is playing with some fresh kill he just caught. You know what? I feel like Slumberroach would actually be thinking about that time when he and Bright Kid were looking up at the moonlight and they both kind of had this inkling that, they were meant for great things together. And maybe that meant that he was supposed to mentor Bright Kid. And I think Slumberroach, somewhere in his mind, was already like prepping to become a mentor again. And I think after the clan has posthumously made Bright Kit a Bright Paw, I think Slumberroach probably went and caught some fresh kill and is kind of, in tribute to Bright Paw, kind of addressing this whole thing in a way that maybe he would have done with Bright Paw. So like he got some fresh kill and he's reenacting almost the way that he would have taught Bright Paw how to hunt. And even though she's not around, maybe his spirit is looking down from StarClan. And as someone who in spirit took her as his apprentice, he's, trying to do his best and make sure that he teaches her at least one thing. Since she has been given the name of Paw, let him teach her one thing, and let him teach her how to hunt. Oh my goodness. Okay. Bubbling Gale feels entirely unlike himself when he's bothered by something small. Yeah, I think the death that happened recently, he was one of the cats who knew early on that she wasn't looking good, and he was being realistic about it, but I think it's still bothering him, like how easily she died and how quickly she died, I think is bothering Bubbling Gale. And he's normally not caught up in, feelings of grief and being overly anxious or concerned. So I think the fact that he feels this unsettled by Kitten dying, is bothering him. He's usually a very happy-go-lucky sort of cat. Grayswipe tries to set a good example for younger cats. I feel like she was doing this even beforehand in the last moment. Like she was trying to, help the clan and the clan's emotions and take care of everyone. Especially when cats were unsettled by Arminfur's death, and now, we've had another death. So she's trying to be stable so that she can support everyone else. And plus, she is now the mentor of Plumepaw. And Lyrebuzz, he's also something that I wasn't paying attention to, but, he's also the mentor of Poppypaw. And the interesting thing that I just noted is that he actually wears an orange poppy on his fur. He wears an orange poppy and his apprentice ended up being Poppypaw. Look at that. Look at that. So we have that going on. Okay, we were up to what? Grayswipe? Yep. Poppypaw is watching and learning from Bubbling Gale. Okay, and what was Bubbling Gale doing? Right, he was being a little bit bothered. But she's kind of intrigued, and she's watching and learning from Bubbling Gale because Lyrebuzz, her mentor, is a little bit distracted at the medicine cat den. So, okay. And then Plumepaw leaps into a pile of fallen leaves. So, Plumepaw... Hold on, Poppypaw, she is actually... Oh, she has gotten the oblivious. She's become oblivious as she's gotten older. Okay, she was very attention-seeking when she was younger, but she's become more oblivious now. Okay, I wonder if the death of her sister, especially because she was the last one to spend time with her sister, hit Poppypaw very hard. And she went from attention-seeking and, being really close to others and holding on to them very tightly, she kind of went from that to not paying attention to them, like in denial mode. Like if she doesn't acknowledge it, it didn't happen. Maybe that's what she's going through. And then Plumepaw went from shy to becoming lonesome. So he's actually, who else was leaping into a pile of fallen leaves? Dark Pounce. So Plumepaw is hanging out with Dark Pounce, and they're both kind of not really addressing the vigil or anything like that. I feel like they're isolating themselves, and Plumepaw in particular is dealing with his grief in a very different way. You know, his sister's choosing to be oblivious and not acknowledge that there's this huge gap in their litter, where there used to be 3 and now there's only 2. And I think Plumepaw is just wanting to be by himself and not get close to others. Because when you get close to others, then you get hurt when there no longer is any others, you know? Or when there no longer are others. So, I feel sad that something that was supposed to be so happy and exciting for them ended up being so, like, dark and grim. And finally, Nectarrock doesn't like how times have changed since he was young. Oh, Nectarrock. Yeah, I think Nectarrock, I mean, we've had too many deaths lately, too many deaths, too close together. No doubt Nectarrock feels as though life is unfair, things are unfair, this is not the way it should be. You know, it was so great in the beginning, before they got to know the kittens, before the kittens came, and Almond Fur was alive. It was like the beginning. We hadn't lost anyone. We hadn't known, really, anyone to care, even if we did lose them. So, you know, as an elder, as a retired cat, it's kind of hitting hard. Hi. Okay, so it seems as though we have finished with our cat list, and now we need to go out for patrols. And this is going to be the first time the apprentices are going out on patrols. So we'll have to see how they deal with that, and also how their mentors kind of decide how this is going to go. So I'll see you guys in a second. It is time for us to head out on patrols. Unfortunately, our medicine cat is injured, so she won't be going out to gather any materials. And that means we have our patrols to do. Now we have 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're gonna have a patrol of 6 and a patrol of 2. I don't know how the mentors are going to decide this. I mean, typically we say the deputy takes charge of the patrols, but when we have apprentices, I like to say that the mentors usually discuss between the other cats and decide where they want to send their apprentices. So I don't know how this is going to go. Thankfully, no cats are going to be out on their own, but let's go ahead and see what the mentors decide for their cats. Okay, so it appears as though we have Slumberroach, Plumepaw, Slopefleck, Bubbling Gill, Mistar, and Poppypaw. So, okay. So it seems as though both the mentors have decided that for the first patrol, their apprentices are going to go out with the others. So they're going to go out with the clan leader, their father. For the first patrol, and they'll kind of learn things and see how things go there. And meanwhile, the 2 mentors are going to go on a patrol together. Okay, interesting to note. So let's go ahead. We have a lot of prey. We have 205 prey and we only need 26.5. So let's go out and hopefully see who shines. The patrol comes across a large rat. Let us proceed. The patrol works together to block off the rat's possible escape routes, and Mistar closes in for the kill. The cats congratulate each other, and Slumberroach remarks that so often hunting is about cooperation and keeping a good ratitude. Oh, look at that! So a medium amount of prey is brought to camp. I think this would have been very, very good for the 2 apprentices, and they actually got to see their father hunting and doing such a good job at planning this out. So I think they would have even more admiration for him than they already do. I mean, especially Puppykit. And the fact that Slumberroach, who I feel like in spirit was supposed to be Brightpaw's mentor, they kind of had this agreement when she was a kid, even though it never came to be. But I kind of like that he's also the one who was shining a little bit over here, because I feel like all the kittens are being represented. Okay, so that was really, really good. And now we have these two going out on patrol, Grey Swipe and Lyrebuzz. So let's see how things are for them. Definitely no pressure for their, hunting, because we have so much food. And the first patrol was actually very successful. But I wonder, they might discuss about the different teaching methods they might have towards their apprentices, especially because they haven't taught anyone before, unlike Slumber Roach. So let's go on patrol. Eyes glowing with the last rays of the sunset, the small hunting party heads out into the gathering dusk. Proceed. Lyrebuzz knows exactly how to take advantage of the growing gloom, giving the rest of the patrol a couple of ideas that tip the balance from a successful patrol to an astonishingly outstanding one. And they brought back a huge amount of prey. And you know what? This is also great because I think this would give their apprentices something to be excited about and proud of. Like, to know that their father assigned them to really, really good hunters and really, really good mentors. So I think the fact that, the patrol of 6 with the new apprentices did really well, but then their mentors went out and did even better, I think that's going to be a really good motivator for the youngsters. So look at the prey, we have 285.2, which is great, and it seems as though the patrols were a success. I definitely think there's like a tinge of wistfulness and sorrow that Brightpaw couldn't be there with them, but all in all, I think Poppypaw and Plumepaw had a really, really good patrol, and I could kind of see them, even though they probably won't talk too much about their grief and talk too much about the fact they lost their sister, I think in themselves, both of these cats would try and live more and more for their sister and do the things that she would have done and they might not have had courage to do, because she was the boldest and the loudest of them. But they might, start becoming more and more like her, so that in some way she lives through them. Which is so sad and so cute at the same time. But Poppypaw, her coat actually is looking more and more pretty as she's getting older, which is very nice. And even for her brother, I found his coat so pretty from the moment he was born, and I really like the way he's looking more and more as he gets older as well. So that is just really, really cool to me. But okay guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.